Hello everyone, this is Andrew with Smart Fitness here in Ocoee, Florida. I am going to show you today a really simple one dumbbell lower body workout. We're always going to start with a really quality warm-up. Two of my favorite movements for that are the bird dog, which we're also going to do the cat cow, and a glute bridge. It really just kind of fires everything up, and it's a good baseline for almost any workout, but in particular for the lower body. So we're going to start knee, about shoulder width, hand. Think 25% of your weight on each part. You're going to start by going ahead and taking a nice deep breath in and letting that back round over and tucking that chin underneath. And then let some air out and hang here for about 10, 9, 8. Making those shoulders push up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Big solid breath out through the transition. You're arching, pinching the shoulder blades, looking up high to the sky. Now you're just going to breathe freely, and you're going to hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, what you've done is you've crossed through neutral. So you saw me go into a tuck position here. You saw me go into an arch position there. That shows that I have crossed through that neutral spine. The next thing we're going to move on to, you're going to repeat that 2 to 3 times. So a 10-second hold here, a 10-second hold here, moving those shoulder blades down. You're going to repeat that 2 to 3 times. The next thing you're going to do is what we call midline focus or contralateral movement. That's going to be one arm out, opposite leg back. You're going to hold this position for 10 seconds. Okay? After that 10-second time frame, you're going to go ahead and try to bring your elbow to your knee, touch it, and then extend it straight back out. Depending on your level, you would go ahead and maybe only hold here for 5 seconds and then switch to the other side. Watch to not rise that foot and arch the back. You want to keep the foot down, keep that back nice and neutral, and that's why we established what that neutral was during our cat and cow. Okay, so you're going to do a 10-second hold. This is real time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you're going to bring your elbow to your knee. If you can't do that, you bring your hand to your knee. If you can't do that, you bring it in as far as you can. Then you extend back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Always being mindful of not pulling that head up and applying pressure to the neck or arching or tucking the back. You'll repeat that for at least one set, 10-second hold plus 10 repetitions. Then you're going to go ahead and flip yourself onto your back. Position your feet on something sturdy like concrete or carpet or something that's pretty stiff. You're going to lay straight back. You're going to try to reach down and touch those heels, but you should not be able to. They should be just far enough away. The easiest way to do this is right from where you are. Bring your arms out to the side. You're going to tuck your hips underneath, lift off the ground, and just simply hold there. If you want to progress it slightly, the arms come off the ground. You're going to hold for 10 full seconds. The focus is the glutes. If you feel lower back pain, you'll want to drop down, tuck more. You should not get pain to the lower back. So we're here, focus on the glutes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Progression, and to add to this, you'd go to the ground, maintaining the tuck, and then lifting. 1, 2, all the while squeezing the glutes. 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, and 10. That would complete one set. You'd want to try to do 2 or 3 of those as your warm-up. So now, we're all warmed up, and what we're going to go ahead and do is work on a few different movement patterns. The way that we like to run our lower body workouts is we do a squat, a hip hinge or a deadlift, so a 2-leg hinge, and then single leg pattern. There's a lot of flexibility in all that, but the greatest thing about it is you're going to make sure that you have a balance of movement, and it's not just double leg, meaning it's not just squat exercises, or it's not just forwards through the front lunge. You have all different ranges of motion to make sure that every muscle in your hip, your knees, and your ankles are being strengthened equally. It's a 1 dumbbell workout. If you've been exercising for a long time and you're a guy, typically you're going to want to go 40 or 50 pounds. If it's your first time doing this and you've never done it before, feel free to do it with a 10, a 12, a 15-pound dumbbell. Let's go ahead and start with the hip hinge. Okay? The hip hinge is a really great way to kind of get the brain organized. I'm going to show you from the side and then I'm going to turn. The hip hinge is a fancy way to say deadlift. The deadlift and the squat are different in 2 large reasons. One being the hip hinge causes us to hinge our hips forward, then descend towards the floor, grab whatever that load is, and then come up. Whereas the squat would be straight down, or as close to straight down, and then back up. They are both valuable exercises, but they are used differently. So we're going to hinge. So we're going to hinge forward. That weight's going to swing out here, further forward of our toes, bend the knees, touch the ground, maintain tension, stand up, tuck, squeeze the glutes. Touch, stand up, tuck, squeeze the glutes. Touch, stand up, tuck, squeeze the glutes. Okay, so that is the deadlift or the double leg hinge. Okay, you're going to do 10 to 12 of those for 2 to 3 sets. The next thing we're going to do is a lateral lunge. Okay, the lateral lunge is really good for developing glute and hip strength and maintaining the balance of strength between the front of your body and the back of your body. For those of you with lower back pain, right here, this glute exercise will help take some of that strain away and potentially could lead to decreasing that back pain. I like to use a straight line on the ground because that's going to keep everything lined up. We're going to do what's called a goblet hold with the dumbbell. That requires that you hinge forward to it, bring it up, and then hold it just like this. So imagine you're holding, like I said, like a goblet. Not really sure why it's called that, but that's just what we go with. You're going to step off to one side. You're going to lunge, stop here. Notice this leg is straight. This leg is bent, and then back. The other important thing to note is this foot is facing forward. Okay? From the side. Okay? Now we'll go the other way. Okay? Keeping the weight a little bit away from you is a progression and a challenge, and it loads that upper back. And I will show you this way as well. So you're going to complete 10 full reps to one side. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ultimately 10 full reps. Then you'll move over to the other side. Again, using a line here to make sure that you're not stepping forward and you're not stepping backwards. So we would go 10 to the right side as well. So that would be considered one of the double leg and single leg supersets. You have a deadlift or a hinge for 10 or 12. You have a lateral lunge for 10 to one side then 10 to the other side. Perfect. So now we go ahead and we take that exact same framework, rest maybe 30 seconds between each two exercises. If you need more rest, you would go ahead and go up to 60 seconds, but not much longer than 60 seconds. So 30 to 60 seconds of rest after you complete one set of deadlifts, one set of lunges, 30 to 60 seconds, one set of deadlifts, one set of lunges, 30 to 60 seconds. The next thing you're going to go ahead and do, taking that same thought process, meaning double leg, then single leg, is you're going to go ahead and do a plie squat, which is a wide stance. Now, you're over top of that dumbbell. That dumbbell should be directly between the insteps. You're straight down, you grab that dumbbell, and you just simply stand up. The difference is here, the resistance is taking you straight down in a line, and you are trying to take a very similar angle with your shin and your torso when you're at the bottom. The other thing that you want to do is stay at or just above parallel with the thighs. So we're straight up, we squeeze, and then we're back down. I'm exaggerating the squeeze. You do not have to do that. You can go right to about there is more than enough. As long as we're not locking the knees, you'll be fine. So it's 10 to 12 reps in the plie squat. Keeping that chest up, core tight, and chin is neutral. We're not going here like this, because if you watch what my posture does, that would take me straight back, and in turn is messing up the movement. The next thing what we're going to do, you probably want to start it without a weight. It's going to be a reverse alternating lunge. What you're going to do is you're going to put that weight somewhere right out ahead of you. Your arms are going to go out for balance. You're going to lunge backwards, step forwards, and then switch legs. Okay? If the alternating proves to be a little bit too difficult, you would go ahead and stay on the same leg. So I'm going to keep my right leg forward, step back to the left, and step forward. Step back onto the left, and step forward. Something to think about. When you're at the bottom of a reverse lunge, about 90 here, not touching the ground. You are always up off of the ground. Another thing that we see is people step back to this heel. You cannot bend the knee if you step back to the heel. So it's very important that you go ahead and you step back to the toe, you descend, and then you're pulling yourself forward with the front leg. So from the other side, left leg forward, right leg going back. I'm down, 90 here, about 90 there, and then I'm pulling myself with this. Imagine it's an athletic movement where you're way back here and you're trying to run to the next goal or point or whatever it ends up being, make it across the line, win the race, anything. That's going to be that ability to do that and explode forward. That comes from the hip, that comes from the glute. Okay? If you feel like you're confident with the movement, that's when you'd add the weight. The weight will again be a goblet hold, which means it's right here. And then from there, you go ahead and lunge back and down and switch. Okay? The goal here would be to do 20 total, which means you're doing about 10 per leg. You see, there is a bigger stability challenge with the weight. If you get through a part of the set and you feel like your stability is wiggling all over the place, simply put the weight down and continue the exercise without it. And you can see that even just demoing this, I'm working a little bit. Okay, so we would go ahead and repeat 10 to 12 plie squats. Okay, just like this. 10 to 12 plie squats. And then we would go into the reverse lunge. 20 times. So, that is a very good, effective, efficient, quick travel workout with just one dumbbell. So for those of you who are on the road and in and out of hotel gyms, they almost always have a set of dumbbells there. Take this with you, take this video, like it, love it, share it, tell all your friends, but the number one thing that I want you to think about is be as consistent as you can be. Take 2 days per week, no matter what. Make those days your workout days. Do it. We're all busy. We have kids. We have spouses. We have dishwashers that need to be loaded. We have dogs that have thrown up. Everybody has that same thing. But the most important thing that you can do is take care of your body. It's the only place that you have to live. So, with that in mind, Andrew, Smart Fitness, telling you all to have a nice day and reminding you that we have a guarantee here. It's results guaranteed or your old body back. See ya!